All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We got another chart talk coming at you. It is Monday, May 8th. We are about halfway through earnings season. We had a huge week last week, very positive earnings from Microsoft. We saw huge moves out of AMD. It's been a very positive week, amidst all these negative headlines that we're dealing with every day. Now, this week, it's all about CPI, of course, an inflationary number. My personal worry about the CPI is it's so much on the back burner that we see any sort of tick up in inflation. I think this market moves lower pretty aggressively. I don't think people are pricing in that that headwind, or if it does matriculate. Who knows? If we trend lower once again in inflation, it'll be a non-issue. We'll continue to see stocks move well, in my view. But that's what the market's waiting around this week for. Last week we had the Fed raising a quarter point. It looks like they're done. Federal funds right now between 5.25%. Fastest tightening cycle in history is now behind us. And all we did, I'm going to share my screen. Mm-hmm. All we did, first rate hike. It was back in March 22, right here. It was right around, 418 or so. 12 months later, they hike, I think it was 12 times, 9 times, 10 times, whatever it was. And we're still trading around the same area. The broad market has done nothing but base. This is really, really positive action. We look on a monthly chart. This is very, very healthy action from a price action standpoint. So if you're not sitting there glued to the headlines, it's a great trading environment. If you're focusing on the winners, focusing on the strongest stocks out there, finding the relative strength, playing the best earnings names, it is really, really positive out there. If you're sitting there and saying the glass is half empty and everything that happens is, oh, this is so ridiculous, you're not doing well in this market. And, we've gone through a brutal 18-month bear market. There's very, very small windows where you can take advantage of great action. And this is currently one of the windows, this earnings season, the start to this year, really, and especially these last couple months. Even though it's so choppy back and forth, we're seeing a lot of great action within the earnings names. Mm-hmm. So that's my spiel. I'm just really focused on price action. I'm very aware of all the headlines and everything we got going on, but the last thing I want to do is overfeed into it, because when I was doing that, I was missing so many trades in the beginning of the year, January especially. I was still pretty bearish, and I was just so focused on headlines, and it was killing my performance. So the less weight I put into headlines, the more weight I put into price action, the better I'm doing. That's really it for me. What you thinking over there?
Well, so I have a question. You mentioned before it was like the fastest rate rising in history. Do you think as they are, the lowest little, they raised it a quarter point recently, and now they're going to probably be done and start to either do nothing or lower rates. Do you think it will be the fastest lowering, or do you think they're just going to kind of like stair step it back down like 25 basis points and like gradually?
No. So, what I personally think is I think it's going to be a lot harder to get inflation down from 5% down to 2% than it was to get it from 9% to 5%. I think we'll stick around in that 3.44 area for a while, and that'll keep rates higher. So I don't really think we'll see a dramatic drop in mortgage rate. I think I think honestly, like 6-8 months from now, we'll start cutting. But a lot of people are thinking, and a lot of markets are pricing in like September, they're going to start cutting rates. I don't personally think that, that's up for interpretation. That's all speculation. Who knows? I think we'll stick around higher for longer. I think so. Jerome Powell, the one thing he's done and one thing he said is how much of a student he was of Paul Volcker. And Volcker in the 80s, very, very, very hawkish to get rid of the inflation that ruined the 70s economy. So I think he's gonna take the inflation fight first and keep rates higher for longer for that reason. So, but doesn't mean the market has to be bad. Think about 2017, 2018 when the economy, everyone was talking about how bad the economy was and how the market was just shaking that off. Why not? Why not? Why is that so crazy to think about?
No, I don't agree. I don't think we're going to see like any dramatic cuts either. I don't think we're going to see like 75 basis point cuts. I think that narrative of just like having to get the rate rising, and now it's like that pause to start to do less. I think it's just kind of status quo. Maybe you see those little drops where it'd be like 25 basis points are the little ones, but I don't think it's gonna be this dramatic like parabolic chart of it runs up and then runs back down. Rate wise. I think we're gonna be here for a little bit, but
I think the one thing that Powell's done really well is he's just forecasted everything he's gonna do. He's not He's not trying to surprise anyone. There's not been one surprise. There's not been like, oh damn, they did this. I was expecting this. It's
Mhm.
always been whatever the most probable outcome is, which is like a 75% outcome. That's what he's done every single time. So,
Mhm.
he can't forecast it any better. He's really helping us out. He's trying to make it as soft a landing as possible, whatever happens with it. So, kudos to him on that.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see what happens in that regard.
That probably has
Stock's
like
moving well though.
yeah, it probably has one of the reasons to do with like the market just holding up and basing for this whole year versus like him again, kind of again, his job isn't to make the market worse for everyone. Like he also doesn't want to be, the villain of the story, so to speak. So
Well, the reality of his situation, he lets the market go crazy. People are making all that money again. Inflation is only going to tick up. So he has to somewhat keep the market muted with all the rate rising and things like that. Just so people aren't extravagantly spending. He needs the economy to come in. Inflation is slow, so we can get back to that growth again. Right.
yeah, let me on that. Let me shift gears a little bit. We'll go over a couple little sectors. Again, we spoke about this last couple weeks is year-long base in the SPY, which is just very healthy action that we're seeing. We're seeing these higher pivot lows forming. We're seeing these buyers step up. We're in this little 5% flag here, so we should see an eventual breakthrough is 420, but that can come whenever it wants to. We can't really predict when that day is going to occur. Sector-wise, consumer discretionaries continue to flag out here through this like 250 area. Think of names like Amazon. You think of the consumer discretionaries. You also have sectors like the REIT sector, which is still, in this base, it's very tight flag here. So definitely keep an eye on some REIT names. And even telecom. Telecom's been, probably the most hated sector all of last year. One of the worst performers. One of the first sectors to get as close to the pre-pandemic lows compared to all the other sectors. But the last pretty much almost a year itself, and just basing out very nicely. And eventually, we should see that break of that base and a move higher where the names like Verizon and AT&T and T-Mobile has always done pretty well, even with this little breakdown. But let's keep an eye on some of those sectors. Stock wise, not much going on. I took actually some profits in Tesla and the TITN I was in today, just trying to take these little base hits and not just give back the little moves they had. I didn't really have the best price in this TITN, so it still looks great. It's just my cost basis was like up at the upper end of this flag, and it just wasn't worth $2 risk in this name that I wasn't going to really capture a 10% or a $10 move out of this. So I took the little lunch money gain in that. But again, a lot of earnings names going on. But again, like you mentioned earlier this morning, just kind of not trying to chase this Monday morning move given the action we had Friday, and just wait. Give it a couple of days, kind of settle out, and wait for the setups to kind of consolidate a bit more.
Yeah, and like I was saying this morning, and like I was screaming at everyone Friday in the chat. I'm like, just take profit, take profit, take profit. Well, we're seeing so much. What we've seen over the past year, Friday has become absolute trend days. Meaning, like if we're up, we usually stay up and we trend higher for the day, and then they give that move back Monday. Same thing with Fridays on a sell-off. It'll be much more dramatic. Everyone will take their money out of the market for the weekend, and then Monday we'll see money come back into the market. And we'll see that move the downward move faded. So we're seeing in both directions. So on Friday, we got that absolute trend day where everything was just ripping higher. I was screaming, take profit now, take profit now. You'll get the opportunity to buy these things back at better prices Monday, most likely. And then look what happens is, we get some pressure today in the indices, and it ended up being the right call. I think in this choppy market, that's kind of how you have to navigate things. You can't swing for the fences. You swing hard, but take the profits when it's there. And we were all taking a lot off the table Friday, and it ended up being a great decision. I got a bunch of charts I'm looking over though, and this is what has me more positive on the market than anything else is just the price action on the charts. Let's take a look at this CP. I'm glad this one failed today. Look at this macro base. This is beautiful. It's a thing of beauty. So if this can consolidate a little bit, make a move higher through 82. It's AMD. I wanted this AMD to wait around because it had such a massive move Monday. Monday, last Thursday on that news that Microsoft was investing in them so they could, compete with NVIDIA to do AI. Then Microsoft came back and said they're not doing that. Whatever. The volume is there. The price action's there. It's like, you can say what you want about these companies. The price action is going to dictate everything for me. This LRCX, I'm pumped. This one's chilling, consolidating today. This is a huge macro level. Another semiconductor here. Oh, no. This is, they make the semis, LRCX. PG earnings flag. This one's waiting around. This one needs a couple more weeks of consolidation, but when it wants to break that 158, we'll be involved in that one. Oh man, there's DoorDash today, dude. Whew. I was telling everyone not to buy Monday off the open. It has this nice level of 65.
Mhm.
And we keep seeing these names coming back. For example, DraftKings coming back, Shopify coming back. I think Spotify coming back.
Shop had a pretty sick move.
Shop had a sick earnings move. That's coming at the base. So then DoorDash, we were watching Friday. I had really nice price action. You look at the 15-minute. This is open higher 65 Friday and just kind of sold off. So then we're like, watch it off the open. Thing just tears higher and doesn't let anyone in. So watch for these names to come back. These super beaten down names have been basing like crazy. I don't know what this ESAB did today. So this one's still basing. I like this one. Strong chart. I guess maybe that's 62 is like the area we're watching there. And then a few more earnings names. ON. So this has been a really strong name, semiconductor. Here was the move on earnings. This move right here. Then consolidation 3 days, rips higher. Now it's kind of consolidating. I would love for it to just base out, chill below this 82, and eventually buy up to that 82 early June, let's say, or late May. Let it just chill out for a few weeks, do nothing. And then this SNA is another one. I'll keep it on the radar. We see this nice earnings move to all-time highs. See this like working on this consolidation. You zoom out, just an absolutely massive weekly, monthly, all-time high level. It's trying to, huge cup and handle. So let this one base out a few more weeks. That one looks really good too. So as long as there are really good charts out there and names are acting well, I'm gonna be somewhat bullish. Maybe not on the indices. I don't think SPY's hitting 430 in the next week, but as long as there's positive action, there are leaders leading, I'm going to stick with buying stocks. That was the one thing I got a little tripped up in the bear market, trying to short everything too much, missed a couple great runs. Now we're seeing that great action once again, muted great action. It's not across the board. You got to find the strength, but it's there. It's certainly there. So, that's where I'm keeping the focus. Tons of these names setting up. There's 100 earning names I didn't even touch on. So overall, staying positive, glass half full. And we'll see CPI this week. CPI comes in hot, we sell off. There's I don't see how we get around that one. Overall, market's been basing. I think the worst is behind us. And that's it. That's it.
Yeah, I like it, man. Again, last little thing I want to touch on really quick is we're on the 9th book. We got almost the entire series done. So as always, any members who want to get any of the books, just let us know the cost when you check out. We'll add that back to your membership. Well, Shake, also with a challenge. I know we have Alec Shuckers is in first place right now. He's up 25%. So yeah. So this week you could.
I've only taken 2 trades. I haven't focused on that shit.
Yeah.
I get some. What? Yeah. What?
Yeah. So far you can have up to $1,000 in the account. Ours again are both automated, so you definitely have $1,000 in the account.
I got 1050.
Okay, so there you go.
I made 10% when it was $500 when we had IoT, and I haven't traded anything since. Still waiting around.
I'm pretty sure I'm definitely still in last place. Today I was at 900, so I'm down 100 from.
Well, let me know when you want to talk about your errors.
Well, I'm stuck in that one for a bit. I guess I'm moving that money somewhere else. But Alex so far is at first, so he's in the lead to win this so far. So we'll see.
And I heard if he wins it, he's just going and spending the money in Mexico, and we can all go with him. So,
well, so I was saying that thing. I was like, if someone wins in the United States and is somewhat like close driving distance, at least from me, I thought it would have been.
And to cash.
Yeah, I want to get like all singles. Like I want to either if they're East Coast, like Alex, I'll drive up to me and that'll be a fun throw in the backpack and hop on the bike and hand deliver him a box full of cash. And if there's somewhere far like Mexico, then we get a little tea trip out of it. So we'll see. But we got. I think we have plenty of time. I think we need for someone to get to 5,000. I think we need the members' accounts need to be at least at 200, like $2,500 before it's going to be even like realistic to get to that number. So we still
don't count your boys and girls out.
I mean, unless they're going to find a 500% winner right now, but. That's
don't count Alec out. He's been fine. MDGL.
He's been. It's always been. Yeah, I feel like we've been grabbing with the crazier names, but it is what it is. So
you fucking held Snapchat into earnings. Crazier names. Like
Yeah, the idea of the challenge versus what it's become has been the opposite of the
No,
expectation.
yours. I'm concentrated in growth stock leaders,
All right.
like I said I would be, like I've
I'll
grown my account all these years
I'll
doing.
I'll
You're a
switch out
YOLO
to
trader. You're a
I'll switch
YOLO
out.
meme trader now.
We'll see.
GameStop is next, huh?
No, no, never. No, I'll buy some.
Options.
No, no, no. All right, well, let's end it here before we
All
end up becoming
right,
options
guys, like,
traders.
subscribe, all that good jazz. Got any questions for us? Let us know. That's it. And oh, by the way, and if you still want to join the challenge, you can. You can just throw $1,000 in the account. Um, like whatever week we're on, you can catch up to us on that. For on week 15, you can throw $1,500 in the account, start trading.
Yeah.
So join along. New book out, Swimming with Sharks, Swinging Sharks. And that's it.
You actually had some really good lessons that we added in this one.
I
The
did.
white, you did, yeah.
Yeah, I'm out here working, bro. I'm out here working.
I was proofreading it today.
Wyckoff Spring.
And the up thrust, we got the Doji
Yeah.
buyback. We got
That shit is bear market.
we got some good ones in here. Good updates.
Yeah.
All right, that's it. We're done.
That's it. That's it. We'll catch you guys next week.